So our circle of trees, I saw this grove. It was not easy to get into. I wanted so badly to walk into the center of it. I was more just on the outside of this grove and could get the angle right to get us a picture for today. But you all are with me as I hike each day this week and as I find trails and let nature invite me, just letting it invite me and guide me into its beauty, its divinity. It's got so many lessons. So just take a gander. You can keep your eyes open if you want to, or closed as we drop into meditation. Do whatever you want with your screens, it's fine. So let's just start by imagining that we're together. Each of us has found one of these tree trunks. And with the aspen, what I've learned this week, because we took a guided tour with a naturalist, is that often the aspens there are very few branches down below because they are self-pruning.
Really?
Yes. And so, in contrast to the HOA coming in and cutting down, nature often knows, and at least aspens, not all nature, not all trees do this, but aspens know when they need to shed some branches so that the root system can continue to nourish the growth. And so you'll find just dropped branches, whole branches. They lose their leaves first, and then the branches just fall off. And so that's why when you look into a forest, sometimes you'll just see these tall white, far away, white trunks with just foliage at the top. And I've always wondered, oh no, is it unhealthy? No, in fact, the aspen are pruning themselves so they can be resilient. So find yourself leaning against one of these trunks that has very few branches down below, and that gives you all the room in the world to lean your back up against. Lean your back against the trunk. And feel your feet on the ground. Imagine that your feet are there. And we know with aspen that the whole root system is connected. That aspen actually spring up out of the roots. And they also drop seeds for new growth. But that gives them two ways to populate. And so there's a huge reservoir, a huge metaphor here, an amazing source for us to think about resilience. We're living in extremely chaotic times. Very disruptive things happening every day. And while we don't want to spiritually bypass that, what we know is we can find our own sources of resilience, the ability to bounce back, even if it's just for 5 minutes. And with the aspen, there are a variety of ways they do that. Self-pruning and tapping into a really big root system. So feel yourself grounded, supported by the tree, and surrounded by other trees and all of us in this circle. rooted. And now let the sunshine flow down through the top of your tree, the circle of trees, and at this summer solstice time, let it drop into the top of your head. And let that universal life force energy, that chi, that prana, that love, begin to fill the top of your head, your forehead, down into your throat, a gentle, soft, balancing light. Those top three chakras. Feel your light aglow as if you are at the crown of a tree, receiving the first of the sun rays that the tree receives. Opening your source and connection to the divine. Opening and balancing your intuition. Opening and balancing your throat and ears and your right to speak truth. I'm just feeling called to stick with the sixth chakra, the forehead. So if you just imagine like an infinity symbol, rolling, moving in that forehead center, really balancing. And because we've been talking about subtle pain, sort of a chronic low-level pain, I want to invite us to, I'm just hearing to invite us to consider the sides of our bodies. So the left brain is the concrete brain, and it's intellect. It's thinking through things, problem solving. It's excellent. But it corresponds to the right side of the body. So diagonal. So energy medicine people say, and I don't know if there's any scientific proof to this, that if we're overusing our left brains, problem solving, thinking, solving, our right side of our body may be affected. And it may be a sign that we just need balancing, opening up to the right side of the brain. So just tune in there. Notice if your pain is on the right side predominantly. May not be, it may be on both sides. And if your right side is in pain, are you thinking too much? Are you worrying? Are you fearful about the future? And if that's so, let that big love, that sunlight, that universal life force energy, just begin to balance. Loving that part of you that is thinking so hard, worrying so much. And then let the energy really flow all the way down the side, right side of you. Down into your body, the trunk of your body, into your fingers, your right fingers, your right wrist, elbow, shoulder. Universal life force energy, healing, balancing, restoring wholeness, not curing, but just allowing the right side of your body to have the conditions it needs to restore. Down into your hips, your right hip, your right knee, your right calves and thighs and quads and hamstrings. And then your right foot, ankle, toes, arches, fasciitis. Let that energy run out your feet, down into the earth. Your whole right body is alive with light, vibrating with energy. Now returning your focus up to the forehead again. Again, see that infinity symbol, full of light, moving back and forth from right to left. And let it settle on your right side of your forehead. This is the part of our brain that is intuitive, that is connected to the divine, that is full of empathy, caring, some associate this more with the feminine energy, not male and female, but left brain's more masculine, right brain is more feminine, so a little less effort, and we can overdo it over here. This is where we spiritually bypass, over on this right side. This is where we over care for people. And of course, caring and compassion is one of the premier spiritual practices, but sometimes we can overdo it, get a little codependent, overfunction. Now this is associated with the left side of the body. So tune into that left side. Are you out of balance, and is your left side of the body aching? Is there dull pain, acute pain, chronic pain on the left? There may have been in the past. Maybe it's better now. Of course, our bodies respond, and this is not the only reason we have pain. It's just one metaphysical way of looking at it, and a way of offering our bodies care. And so now draw in that big love. Invite that universal life force energy to flow down through the top of your head and let it flow down the left side of your body. So your left ear, neck, shoulders, your left arm, elbow, wrist, fingers. Let that sunlight flow down your ribs, the trunk of your body into your hips, your left hip. your quads and hamstrings, your knee, your calf and shin, ankle, arch, heel, toes, fasciitis. Let that energy roll down out of your feet into the earth as it has cleared and made room for wholeness. And now we integrate the two. So find yourself leaning against that tree, inviting sunshine to come down, big love through the top of your head, and let it spread across both sides of your body. You may see it as white light. You may feel it as a pulse, a move, just an energy. You may see it as a ball of energy. Down through that forehead is connecting you to the divine, balancing that infinity symbol into your throat, your heart, crossing both sides of the midline, your solar plexus, your second chakra in the belly, and that root chakra that helps you with the bottom parts of your body. And just watch that light move up and down, smoothing, balancing both sides of the body. Restoring resilience, balancing, self-pruning, tapping into the root system and the source of light and energy from above, both sky and earth, holding you. You're shining brightly, your big bubble. You're in the middle of your bubble. Together we create a bright, bright light, a huge circle of light that spreads out to all of those who are suffering, in pain, who've been displaced. All of those who are looking for work, a way to make meaning or make a living, or both. We come to a place of gratitude as we find our feet on the ground. Maybe roll our shoulders a bit. And when you're ready, return to the screen.